Good morning, and Steve here. And congratulations for making it through the new moon and solar eclipse. And hopefully that some of the thoughts over the last couple of days were helpful in any changes that you may have noticed for yourself or in yourself. And I thought it would be useful. Today feels like a day for integration, just integrating any energies that changed as a result of what we did yesterday, and to allow some space to see, to really observe and experience the any change that may have taken place. So just have some space to just experience it. And so I, again today, just looked at the Mayan calendar to see what type of day it was. And so today is the day of the blue monkey. And it's a blue lunar monkey, and what that means is there are 20 kin and there are 13 tones, energetic tones, and so every 13 days the tone changes, every 20 days the kin changes, every day the kin changes, but every 20 days it starts over again. Yesterday was tone 1, which was a magnetic tone, and tone 1 represents the source of creation. And today, tone 2 is a lunar tone. And so the lunar tone is about polarizing, stabilizing, and challenging. So it's about recognizing that opposing forces are what work together to hold a stable space. And the statement is, and that's all I'm going to read on this, you can look it up on 13moon.com, and they'll tell you all about the lunar tones and the blue monkeys and all of it. But all antagonisms are complementary. So kind of sit with that. And it's the day, in the terms of kin, it's the day of the blue monkey, which plays with magic and illusion. And so there's a statement by a woman named Lynn Andrews, I don't know a lot about Lynn Andrews. I've read some of her books about shamanism, I think is one of the things that she writes about. But she says, what we create in the world, we must first create within ourselves. So for there to be magic in your life, you must first believe in magic. And whatever magic means to you. To me, change is magic. And things that produce change are magic. And there are changes that are produced that we don't seem to like, and there's changes that are produced that we do seem to like. But it seems to be a time of change, and maybe we'll just learn to like it. I noticed that a week prior to the solstice, I was noticing a fair amount of shift in my perception of reality. And what I mean by that is the world didn't look the same, and I think I was maybe seeing more of the world, maybe on somewhat of an energetic level, or maybe I was just somewhat more present. But there was kind of a waviness of the world, And I just wondered if that was this rise in vibration around the world, some shift in my own perception of reality that was taking place. But I felt like the last 2 days seemed very significant to me. And then this third day, the day after the eclipse and the beginning of the new moon, it seems like it's good to have a day that's slow and as peaceful as you can. If that isn't your world, if that isn't the world you live in, where you can choose or appear to choose what kind of day you have, then just do your best. But the quieter, there I think is some term related to meditation, which is quieting the monkey. So it's a blue monkey day, so it could be kind of a chattery kind of day, but it could also be just a quiet day, a day to maybe connect with the deep self. That's my plan, just connecting with the deep self and being present in the things that I do. So I did a tarot reading, and I just had a sense that to do past, present, future again. I've done that the last couple days, and it seemed right to do that again today. So for the past, I pulled the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups are emotions. And the Ace of Cups is the open heart, the clear heart, the trusting heart, the spiritual heart. And I noticed fewer people, and just in terms of the algorithm of YouTube's, I noticed that fewer people had watched the fifth, part 5 of the 5 videos I did yesterday, which really I was just, woken up at 5:55 and told to make the videos, and there ended up being 5 videos, and the fifth one was the sounding of the heart. So I don't think it's a very long video, but it has to do with sounds that in my experience when they were coming through me were sounds of opening. And then at the end, there was a sound from the heart, was a sound of integration of the upper and lower realms, the earthly realms, the heavenly realms, universal realms, however you want to put it. But the Ace of Cups is the open heart, the clear heart, the trusting heart, the spiritual heart. And it says, this is the Holy Grail sitting within the emotional nature, which is represented by the blue cup. It's the state of emotional integrity, which is represented by the double reflected rainbow, and the capacity to express accurately feelings that are being experienced internally. So taking what we're feeling internally and expressing it externally in a way that others might understand the experience we're having, or may relate to the experience we're having, because they've had a similar experience, and so they can relate to it. The card we got for now, for the present, it's tricky to do this, is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is committed to the principle of spiritual growth and evolution. So things growing and evolving. And this is the visionary and energetic knight who is willing to edit, rehearse, or is unwilling to edit, rehearse, or hold back any part of who he is. He rides the unicorn horse, a symbol of vision and inspiration that has purpose and application. He represents the power of deep internal shifts and perceptions that are being dynamically expressed. This is the vision quester who has attained a significant vision and is mobilizing all the energy to actualize it. And from that, for the future, we got the Prince of Discs. And discs are pentacles, and discs are representing our wealth. And the Prince of Discs in this case is the architect. So the Knight of Wands was the one with vision and vigor, and the Prince of Discs is the architect, the designer, and the builder of new forms. The builder of new worlds that are beautiful and abundant, and worlds that are less obstructive and difficult. And then it also talks about that he is the sportsman who through exercise has mastered the capacity to build and recreate structures. And I'm going to repeat a story that I heard. So when I found out that Angelus Arian had passed away in 2014, who is the author of the Tarot Handbook that I use. So I'm going to show it so you can see how her name is spelled. And I found myself wanting to listen to her and listen to interviews she's had with various people. And she was quite a visionary of a world that we could have that would work for everyone, and how that was going to take place. But in this theme of builder of worlds, visioning new worlds, building of worlds, it's interesting that these were the cards that were picked, or these are the cards that showed up this morning after I listened this morning to a story she told on I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge, and she was interviewing a native person from that area, from the New York area, and he called it the Magic Bridge. And she said, well, why is it called the Magic Bridge? And he said, well, it's just what it's called. So it interested her, and she did some research, and she found out that a father and a son had come up with a design for the Brooklyn Bridge, and nothing like it had ever been built before. And I think it was in the late 1800s where this bridge was being built. And finally they got everything together so they could build this bridge on this brand new design that they had come up with. And you can go listen to the story. You could probably put Brooklyn Bridge or the Magic Bridge and her name and listen to her tell the story. But in the process of building the bridge, the father died, I think from the bridge. Something happened. I don't know what it was. And then the son was injured to the point that he could no longer speak. He could no longer communicate. And so they were just going to give up on the whole process of building the bridge. But he was a very bright person. And so he learned to communicate his thoughts through tapping on his wife, on her, let's just say her hand. He would tap out like a Morse code kind of thing and would transmit what needed to happen for this build to be bridge or bridge to be built. And long story short, he tapped for 3 years through the entire construction, and then the bridge was built and was referred to later by the native people of the area, who probably helped in the building of the bridge, because a lot of the native people were willing to, be up on really tall structures and be doing things. So they might have been, I'm sure they're probably part of that building of that bridge. But the magic bridge, and so kind of the this monologue started off with the blue monkey about magic, and then the Ace of Cups about holding the Grail inside ourselves, and the Knight of Wands about the vision and the ability to bring forth this vision, and then the Prince of Dis about creating a new world. So I feel like this represents what we've been through. Kind of over the past few days, we had this kind of Grail quest where we were attempting to discover things, and we were learning through some images in the Tarot about the Wheel of Fortune and how we could, take the ball out of the wheel. I'm using the roulette wheel, and come up with a new plan, which is, I think, what we're doing in the world. And there is more than likely a cosmic plan already in place that we're just meant to recognize and help to implement it. One of the last things is that Angeles Arian talked about how important she felt it was for those of us who are in different age groups to communicate to each other, so we can begin to have a better understanding of what's going on for us in our age group, and how maybe some of the things that have already been dealt with, there are some ideas for how to deal with them, out of the past, or maybe there's this creativity of dealing with them in a brand new way, which can become between, communication between us. Okay, and so lastly, I would say, in this day, which I feel is the day of integration, after a powerful experience of the last 2 days, I would just suggest that you connect to your deep self, and you remain connected to the healing power of the planet by just stating, I ground myself into the healing power of the planet, or the healing center of the earth, however you want to say it. And then I open myself to the healing power of the One, that one consciousness that we're a part of. And we're here to do our part, and so to discover what that part is that we're here to do, and then have the courage to make changes that we might need to make so that this new world can be brought into existence. So may you have a lovely day, and may everything go as well as it can in this time of Mercury in retrograde, which I think we should be coming out of pretty soon. Okay, that's it. Have a lovely day, And I I'm glad that we could just have a little bit of time after all the activity of the last couple days to just connect and just say, yeah, keep up the good work. So now must go.